Is there any reason to be concerned if you partner up with somebody who has that flat affect as a default? Like they have difficulty feeling emotion. They have difficulty feeling emotion, whether it's great love or great hesitancy in committing a murder. They're not built in a way that is necessarily safe.
Well, that's a good point, but I think with the whole idea of being able to understand your partner or your family members, you have to really look at them and be a pretty good judge of character on a daily basis, and not just every couple of months or something like that. So, I think it's important to look at whether or not they're becoming more depressed. Are they talking about suicide? Are they talking about leaving the family? Are they talking about not wanting to be a part of the family again? So for me, there are a lot of puzzle pieces that are likely missing from this family that were never posted on Facebook, that would give us more indications that he had started to check out. But with that checking out, was there any indication that with that decision to no longer be really an emotional part of the family, could that have meant that anger towards Shanann was building and building and building? Because looking at Chris, you don't see an angry man, but that means he's internalized it. But what did she see on a daily basis? What did she see that many of us would have just looked at and said, he's just having a bad day? And sometimes that's the case, but sometimes it's not the case. And those are the kind of indicators that you want to look for.
To me, everything seems to go downhill as soon as he meets this other woman. Like to me, based on her Facebook, based on the Netflix documentary, which is very worth your time on this whole show. It's called American Murder, The Family Next Door. He was kind of the beta in the relationship. I mean, she was the alpha and in control about most of the decisions they were making. And then he met this other woman and really started distancing himself and it seemed to me like a hatred started to brew for Shanann. The other woman's name is Nicole Kessinger. She worked like he did at this petroleum company. We're showing a picture of her on the board now. And I mean, they met in June of 2018. It was August 13th, 2018, that he committed a quadruple murder of his entire family. I mean, 2 months, Mary Ellen. How do we even start to understand that?
Well, his girlfriend, the woman that he met and started to have the affair with, she was the kind of the conduit. He was already in that emotional state. My sense is that he was already feeling incredible animosity towards Shanann, and she didn't realize it. Then he meets this woman, and it could have been Susie Smith. It could have been, Ann Jones, but he meets her, and she responds to him, and they begin to have that relationship. I don't think it was specifically her, but I think he was ready at that point. So I think it had been building up.
That's interesting. So it could have been anyway, because we'll talk about her, but she's been very demonized by most people looking at this case. And there are questions about whether she did something intentionally to encourage this.
Well, I think I would be really careful as a profiler to credit her with any involvement in this case until I had the opportunity to sit down and talk to her and look at her background, look at her personality, look at the kinds of things that kind of really made her tick on a daily basis, to see whether or not her personality lends itself to being co-opted like this. Because if it did, we have to look at it and say, they just met. She starts to have this relationship, which she's probably very excited about. She's even looking at wedding dresses. And then to jump to the conclusion that now she morphs into this co-conspirator to help him, annihilate his whole family is a little bit too much for me at this point. I think she got caught up in the excitement of having this relationship. And it really is hard when something like this happens, just like Scott Peterson, not to say, oh, she had to know, or she had to encourage him. That is a big step, to say that the partner encouraged Chris in something like this. I'm not sure that that's there.
And we know that in Scott Peterson, Amber Fry did not know anything about Lacey Peterson. She was truly caught off guard that he was married at all, had no idea. And as soon as she found out, she went to cops, worked with them, and is part of the reason he is now in prison. She was a good guy in the whole thing. This woman, I don't know. I mean, she definitely misled the cops. She tried to tell them, oh, I didn't know he was married. And then they found Google searches by her. Like, does the mistress ever get the man? I mean, she knew that he was married and downplayed her knowledge with the police. It doesn't mean she encouraged a murder, a triple, quadruple murder. But it's one of the reasons why this woman has now had to change her name. She's effectively in witness protection because people blamed her. Junk science. That's what the doctor called many of those fruit and vegetable supplements on the market. Junk science because they use extracts of common produce department fruits and vegetables with few health benefits. But I want to tell you about Field of Greens. Field of Greens is different. They use the whole organic fruit and vegetable, not a watered-down supplement. And it's backed by a better health promise, which I'm going to tell you about. Each ingredient in Field of Greens was scientifically chosen to support vital organs like heart, lungs, and kidney health. Others support your immune system, blood pressure, metabolism, and healthy weight loss. Their better health promise is simple. The next time you are at the doctor for a checkup, if the doctor doesn't say you're looking healthier than before, you're going to get your money back. How about that? That's a deal. So let me get you started with 15% off. Visit fieldofgreens.com and use my promo code MK. Promo code MK at fieldofgreens.com. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.